Do you have real estate questions? Well, stay tuned because we have the answers. Hi, this is Denise from Vivid Lifestyle Realty, your go-to source for all things real estate and lifestyle in beautiful Corona, California and the surrounding areas. And today we're going to talk about questions. So many of our clients, potential clients, just people in general, have a lot of real estate questions, especially right now. So we're going to try to do a few videos where we answer some of those questions. A lot of them are things we've covered in other videos in a deeper dive. But today we're just going to kind of answer some questions, and so that way you guys can kind of just have a place to go for like frequently asked questions and the answers to those. So first this question gets asked a lot. What should I look for when I'm buying a home? So if you're buying a home, there's many things that you need to look for, and we're gonna kind of cover them just in no particular order, just kind of in a list. So when you're purchasing a home, I always say the first thing you need to do is be ready, and you need to kind of be prepared and have a plan. So it's not like you just say, you know what, I'm gonna buy a home today. It's one of the biggest purchases of my life. So you don't wanna kind of go about it like that. It is a big deal for yourself, for your family, for your budget, financially, emotionally. So it's something you shouldn't take lightly. And so just make that a goal. If that's your goal, it's something you want to achieve, and kind of play it backward is, well, if I want to save up this much money and have a down payment and have closing costs, then you're going to want to do the steps it takes to get there. So, hey, every month we're gonna kind of tighten our belt, gonna cancel some of the things we really don't need, like the gym membership we're not using or etc. And we're going to save a little extra money than we normally do. We're gonna put it away and not think about it, and we're gonna do that for 6 months, a year, 2 years, however long it takes to get there. If you hit snafus, we all do in life, you're just gonna go through the snafu and get back on track. And if it means you're gonna buy in a year instead of 6 months or whatever, it's well worth it to be a little extra prepared. Because when you're going from renting or something smaller to something bigger, or renting to owning, there's things that pop up, and you need to, in my life, in your life, it's gonna happen. Oh, the air conditioning, oh, the furnace, oh. And so that's why we're gonna get into the next point is, please, as a real estate professional, as a person, as an investor, please get your inspection done. Now, I don't know how in the world, with things that are going on in this world, but how in the world where different people, I really take care of things, whether it's my car or our house, or whatever, so that they last a long time. And when you sell or when you trade in your car, you're getting full value for that. So I don't just think about the then, I think about, and if kids are throwing Cheerios, we have big dogs, they go in my car, hair gets everywhere. I just clean it out, you get it detailed, you go through a car wash. So you just try to keep things as nice as you can. So when people come through, it's prepared and in the best shape possible for the buyers. So the more you keep on top of things, the less you'll have to do when you sell, and buyers will find everything a lot more appealing. But that being said, I can't see how in the past few years sellers were able to tell you can't have an inspection, because I'm telling you, it is one of the things you can't see are the scariest things, are the most expensive things. Foundations inside your wall, mold, mildew, water damage. Those are things you might not be able to see on the surface, but if they're there, problems with your roof, different things like that. When you move in, that could be a potential disaster. So in no way, shape, or form, obviously you gotta do what you gotta do, but in my professional opinion, in all of my personal, professional, whatever you want to call it, please make sure you're getting an inspection. It tells you the condition of the home. The more inspections that you can afford, the better. Whether it's a roofing, a whole home inspection, they're going to give you a pretty decent idea of what's wrong and all the findings that they have. But it is way better when you're making a purchase for your life at that moment, for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 20 years, that you know what you're stepping into. And that is my biggest thing, is try to keep things nice as a seller, so you don't have to worry about too many things, and upkeep as you go, so you don't have to worry about too many things when you're selling. It can be so much less of a headache, but it also helps buyers so much to know where they stand, what's going on, what they're going to have to do, so that way you can, as a buyer, can negotiate with the seller to, hey, these repairs weren't my fault, let's work together, or can you fix these particular things? And you're only going to know a lot of those things if you get a home inspection. Next, we're going to kind of go into proximity. So you really kind of this is a big one for a lot of people, especially in California where there's a lot of traffic. You definitely want to make sure, like, hey, this is as far, say it's 30 minutes from your work, or 5 or 10 minutes from a school. So the proximity that you're going to be from your work and from the schools that your kids or yourself or whatever will be going to, and that is a really big issue. So what I recommend, because you say, hey, I looked it up on Google and it takes 30 minutes to get to work. Great. In reality, with traffic at certain times, it could take you an hour to get to work. So is that something that is going to add to the quality of your life? Do you mind an hour? Can you take a train? That way it gives you a lot. So I recommend driving. Actually, if you can take off a day and drive in the morning during, if you have to be at work at 9, maybe you try 7 or you try 8 and see how that, because if 9 o'clock, I would recommend 8 if you can leave at 8, because then the 6:30 to 8 o'clock traffic and schools and everything is kind of easing up. So that might be a 35-minute commute instead of leaving at 7 and it's an hour commute. Then also, if it's 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes to schools, is that something that you can do in the morning and still get to work on time, or get home and do what you need to do? Where some schools might be 15 minutes away or 20 minutes away, the schools that you'd like to attend. However, most neighborhoods that I show people, the schools are relatively close, unless they would like to go to a private school or a school that's not designed for their particular area, that you're trying to get grandfathered in or trying to, request being a part of. Though that can make a big difference. So just keep that proximity in mind, and if you have a chance, it's a very smart idea to be able to drive it in the afternoon when you would normally be leaving to go home, and because maybe you want to stay at work a half hour later, and that makes all the difference. Or maybe you want to leave earlier than normal so that you avoid some of the traffic, because it's better to sit in your car and eat a granola bar and drink your coffee and breathe or meditate or do something and think about the day than it is to be, oh my God, I'm 10 minutes late, and you're running in, So that's something that's very important. Also, hiring a real estate professional is very important, because there's things that we see, like if the foundation if something's swaying a certain way, or there's a spot on the garage ceiling or in the floor, if something smells a certain way, we deal with this all the time, and we can give you our expertise to where, hey, when the inspector comes and the real estate agent is there, I'm at all the inspections, so that I can say, can you extra check the garage? Can you make sure you check these 3 spots? The way when sprinklers are on, do they have drainage for water and sprinklers, that it's not going to be heading toward your house or flooding particular areas like your grass, and then when your dogs go outside or your kids go outside or you go to mow, there's a huge puddle constantly. So just little things when people buy new builds and they do inspections and they don't let the agent come in, I am on the phone saying, check underneath the cabinet, run all the water, make sure as you're running the water you open the, and they're like, I didn't even think of half of those things. Oh, you got pullouts, good. Make sure you pull all of them out and shut them, and sure enough, like, oh, 2 of the pullouts don't work. So that's why an expert in your ear is, and mind you, with sellers and buyers, it's you're purchasing the home, your money, your home. We're just there to guide you and to give you examples and suggestions from doing it over and over again, so that it helps you to get the best possible property for yourself, and in the best condition. So it's really important we see things that are not normal or aren't supposed to be there, so that way we can tell you, hey, or we can tell the inspector, hey, please double check these specific things. Not labeling your electrical box is a big one. So sellers out there, label your electrical box, because that you have now they want an electrician to come out and look at everything. Just be, as thorough and ready as possible, whether you're a seller or a buyer, and that will help you definitely in the long run. And then also you want to look at remodeling is a big thing. Some people don't mind if things are a bit dated or a lot dated. If you're an investor and you want a fixer, then everything needs to be pretty much dated, or is dated and needs to be done. But you want to kind of keep in mind, what have they remodeled? What have they not remodeled? Is this okay for me? What is this going to cost to get it up to my standards? And we have vendors and different people that can come in, like, Curbio and Zoom Casa, so they can come in and fix things, and they don't charge you until, they don't charge the seller until the close of escrow. But if the seller isn't doing the repairs, that gives you an idea too, to have different vendors kind of price it out. And many inspectors that are high level will do that as well. They'll say, these are some things that are wrong. This is who can fix it, and this is what it will cost. And they give you a few suggestions as well, so you can pick what works best for you. But if you want to do remodeling, you definitely got to make sure that that is something that you're going to be prepared for. Also, so that's another big thing is the remodeling and condition of the home. And that pretty much sums it up. You want to make sure that you kind of think about all of those things when you're purchasing, so that you can be super prepared and know what you're getting and know what steps you need to take to get it to where you need to be. So I hope that helps. Number 2 for the questions is, how can I increase the value of my home before I sell? That's a huge one we get all the time as well. And there's a lot of, first of all, it's the little things make a big difference, hands down. So if people are walking through your home and the light switch doesn't work and there's 3 bulbs out, and you think, well, it's a light bulb, people, or hey, it's just a can of paint, to them, it's more money, more problems, because when you're selling, you have to put some money in. If you didn't, upkeep throughout the years, which has happened to all of us, you might have to put some money into your home to get it looking the way it needs to be. And there's vendors that also that we work with that will fix it up, and you don't have to pay till the close of escrow. So that helps people out with freeing up some of their cash and getting things done, so that they don't have to pay until they get paid themselves, which is an amazing help for people. And obviously, real estate professionals, we deal with those companies. We make sure they're on time and on task, and that everything you need to, it's windy out here, sorry. Everything that you need to be getting done is getting done. And so that's a really great choice if you have let your house get a little bit outdated and you need some things, carpet, it can be small things like carpeting and paint, which can make a big difference in the value of your home and what people are willing to pay for it. Instead of having really bad carpet with stains and everything and half the paint is peeling off and everything, that makes a big difference. So whether it's something like that, you can still get it done in a timely manner. They have all the contractors. We make sure we're on their tail end so that they get things done. And then we also, wow, it's way windy, sorry. We also, and then they're also really good in general to, stay on track. But that can be very helpful, and then you don't pay till the close of escrow, which is awesome. And then there's also all those little things, light bulbs, a paint chip, old throw rugs, just toilet seat covers, toilet seats coming off, just little things, a very dated, rusty faucet. There's just different things you go through. All the little things that don't work, take some time to get those little things fixed up because they make a big difference when a buyer's walking through. It's instead of seeing their things where they should be and clean and shiny, they see old, dated, money, and dollar sign. So those little things make a big difference. Also, keeping your house, having it professionally cleaned for $400, $500, $600, a one-time thing. As an agent, we have vendors and cleaning services that we use that we can recommend as well. And just having it thoroughly clean where they're walking into a space where most of the things work, all of the little things are in place, and a very clean environment that's super appealing to people. They'll be willing to pay more. They can visualize their items inside the home, and it's fresh and clean and smells great. It's so smelling great as well, using candles, nothing that's over the top where it's going to give someone a headache, but just the little things like, little sachets or Bath and Body Works candles. I usually try to provide one to my sellers so that when people come in, they smell cupcakes or vanilla or pumpkin apple spice, and it's inviting and it makes them want to be there. Very big. Emotions, scent, your senses play a big part in how you can visualize things and how you feel when you walk into a space. So that's very important. So the little things make a big difference. Having it smell nice and having it be clean, woo, so good for your value, so good for people walking in. Also, having good curb appeal, adding a little extra plants, maybe a coat of paint. Those things make a huge difference as well. When people pull up, they're going to make a decision within about 7 seconds as to whether they even want to walk in. Make sure it looks cozy, welcoming, and it doesn't take a lot of money to do that. Some cedar, some potted plants, an extra coat of paint in the front can make a big difference. Painting your garage doors, big difference. Your front door, big difference. So making sure things are tidy, that they're spruced up a little bit, can make a world of difference. Also, you kind of want to just kind of take care of things as you go, and then if something breaks, just get it fixed if possible. We all run into those situations where we got to wait a little bit, but keeping your house tidy and fixed up, and kind of, if you've owned your home for 20, 30 years, at the 10-year mark or the 20-year mark, kind of fix things up to where people aren't walking into 1970s when it's 2020, or 2024. So those things will make a big difference. Then you're not having to stress about it when you're moving out. It makes a big difference. It's a pain going through it as it happens, but it makes a big difference in the long run. And then having things well lit, your windows open, your blinds open, natural light. If light bulbs are burnt out or you don't have lamps in certain areas that you need extra lighting, really, we do this all the time when we're switching an office or whatever. We'll put recessed lighting, can lighting in, and It really isn't that expensive to add 4 or 6 can lights. It doesn't take that much time, and let me tell you what it does to the space. It turns it around, it makes it bright. You have dimmer switches, all those little things make a very big difference. And then sometimes just adding, having it professionally staged, if you really want to go that route. Sometimes what I do is I help sellers I help them stage with what they have, and sometimes decluttering is another big one. When you declutter the space, it gives, like taking personal items down, all the knickknacks and extra throw pillows and 3 extra chairs that you put in there for your family, but now everyone's kind of moved out. When you declutter that space and kind of put it in the garage or pack it away because it's going to need to go anyway, it helps people visualize their things, make it seem bigger than it actually is. It gives them space to say, my chair would go here, my couch would go here, instead of walking through an aisle, you know, like this. It's way better to declutter things, make it more welcoming, and then that helps you put your items away too, and you'll have less to do in the long run. And so just having things bright and decluttered is, with natural light or extra lighting, is totally wonderful. And like I said, we can help you have it professionally staged. We can also, I'm out there moving furniture and stuff too, and fluffing pillows. So if we need to take the things you already have to save some money and make it look bright, and you just buy a few extra throw pillows and put a few extra little items, decor items, it really makes a big, big difference. So just having those things, painting, once again, if it's one room, if it's the outside of the house, if you haven't painted in a long time, let me tell you what paint does as well. Termite damage has been a very, very big thing in California, and it can cost thousands and thousands of dollars. So by getting your trim painted, by painting your home, they don't like paint, and so when you keep things sealed, and it stops it from rotting, it stops water from getting in, and it stops termite damage. So if you're not painting every 7 to 10 years, please paint. If you're for HVACs and termites and different things like that, just get the $149, you know, every couple year, the service to keep it up, the upkeep, so that they can check everything. If you get a termite inspection, that way you might be able to fix things for $500 instead of for $10,000. So those are just some things for sellers that you kind of need to think about as you're selling, so that it can get you the best value for your home, and it can also get you, you know, the highest price for your home, because then sometimes people say, this is turnkey, it's ready to go, you want it, I want it, and it can kind of create a little bit of a bidding war, especially with the lack of inventory that we're having and high interest rates. If things are ready to go, they're selling a lot faster, and you're getting more money in your pocket. So I hope that helped. If you found this video helpful, and we have a lot of other videos on our channel that can really go into further detail on a lot of these things. But those are 2 of the questions that we get a lot, and I went into great detail so that can help you out whether you're buying or selling. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit that bell. We really, really appreciate our viewers. We appreciate you, and we want to provide as much value as possible. If you have any suggestions, you can put it in the comments below. You could always reach out to us on Instagram and Facebook at Vivid Lifestyle Realty. You can check us out on our website, which is vividlifestylerealty.com, and there's some blogs in there, and you can do some property searches if you'd like as well. If you have any questions about the market, it's been a roller coaster. I follow a lot of the economists to make sure that I have all the information that you guys need. Please reach out, and we'd be happy to chat with you about that, and you know, just tell you what the best situation is for your situation. And so whether that's, you know, doing something now or doing something in 5 years, we're here to help. We're here to be a resource, and we hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.